guys, welcome. My name is Tennessee. Today I am bringing you your week 3 out of a 4-week progression into your peak posture of 8 angle pose. 8 angle pose was one of the first arm balances I ever taught myself. It looks so impossible that I was like, no, that can't be right, but it actually is. So we are going into the full posture today. That doesn't mean you have to. That just means I will guide you in. You take what you need and you forget the rest. So if you can only go into level 1, go to level 1. If it can bring you all the way into the extended posture, go all the way in. Just trust your body and allow your body to move in a way that feels good for you. Now, I always start my classes with a chakra clearing. If you don't know what chakras are, there's 7 energy sources throughout your body. They start at the base of your spine and they work their way up through the crown of your head. So I just want you to check in, notice what feels good, get out of your head, get into your body, whether that be through the posture or your breath. Today we are going to start on our backs. We're going to work into a Supine Kanasana. So bring the soles of your feet together, knees out wide. Now you don't need blocks for this class. However, I highly recommend them if you do have blocks. However, if you don't have blocks and you have books or something around the house that you can help elevate the earth up, you are more than welcome to use that as well. You can also use pillows or sturdy pillows, anything like that. When you're ready, work your way all the way onto your back, soles of your feet together, knees out wide, coming into Supine Kanasana. Just kind of settle into the upper body, releasing any tension through your mid-body, all the way down to your feet. Now close your eyes. Inhale, completely fill up your lungs. Audible exhale, let that go. Let's do that again. Inhale, completely fill up. Audible exhale, release. See if you can surrender a little bit further onto your mat, releasing any tension through your feet, your ankles, your knees, your hips, your back, your shoulders, your head, your neck, and your jaw. This time, inhale through your nose. Find a constriction in the back of your throat and then exhale through your nose. This is your Ujjayi pranayama. Inhaling through your nose and then exhaling through your nose. See if you can make your inhale the same length as it is your exhale with the same intensity. I want you to carry this breath throughout your practice today, through each posture, through each movement as we go through. Now just start to clear your mind and bring your focus, your energy, your awareness to the base of your spine, to your root chakra, your first chakra. This is your I am space. Your foundation, your safety, your security. This is where everything starts. Just check in, notice what feels good, notice if any discomfort. Now on your inhale, bring your focus, your energy, awareness into your second chakra, the space below your belly button, your sacral. Your I feel space, where you house your emotions, your desires, your sexuality. Slowly work your energy up into your third chakra, the space above your belly button, your solar plexus. Your I do space. This is what drives you, where your passions, your creativity, your power all lie. Now guide your energy up into your fourth chakra, your heart. Your I love space. Your space of relationships, self-acceptance, and unconditional love. Now gently move your energy up into your fifth chakra, your throat. Your I speak space, space of communication, your truth. Gently guide the energy up into your sixth chakra, the space just between your eyebrows, your I see space, your space of intuition, your third eye. And then finally take your focus, your energy, your awareness all the way above your head to your seventh chakra, your crown chakra. Your I understand space, your path to enlightenment. I want you to draw the energy all the way down to the base of your spine and then inhale it through the 7 chakras through the crown of your head. Notice if anything gets stuck, of any discomforts, or if it feels good. Work to bring your focus, your energy, awareness to those areas throughout your class today. One big clearing breath in. Audible exhale, let that go. Nice work, guys. Flutter your eyes open. Gently hug your knees up into your chest. Work for an Uttanasana. When relieving pose, option to reach for opposite elbows for a deeper compression. Just give yourself a big hug. Keep pulling the back of your neck down without constricting your breathing, extending through the crown of your head. Now slowly lower the soles of your feet down just outside your sitting bones. Your knees are up. Take your left ankle on top of right knee. Left ankle on top of right. Find a reclined figure 4. Hug your right knee up and in. You can flex your left toes back towards your shin. Pull your left knee forward. Relax your right foot. You have one more breath. Now slowly release your hands. Take the sole of your right foot down. Bring the sole of your left foot over to the right side of your mat. Arms out to a T. Take your gaze left. Find an easy supine twist. Inhale, slowly come all the way back. Roll all the way over onto your right hip. Now, come onto your right hip, straighten out your right leg. Keep the sole of your left foot down, your knee is lifted. Option to place your forearms down and just slowly lean forward. Option for modified baby grasshopper. Reach your left arm in front of your left shin. Reach for the blade of your right foot. Keep drawing your torso down. Inhale, slowly release. Come all the way back onto your backs. Hug your knees up into your chest. Uttanasana, wind relieving pose. One more time. You can add any movement you need, side to side, forward and back, whatever feels good for you. Now plant the soles of your feet back down. Take the blade, or draw your right foot on top of your left knee. Find the reclined figure 4. Hug your left knee up and in. Flex your right toes back. Pull your right knee forward. Relax your left foot. Slowly release your bind. Take the sole of your left foot down. And then keep your right leg where it's at. Slowly find an easy supine twist over to your left as you take your gaze right. Now slowly come back to your midline. Just extend your left leg long. Come over onto your left hip. Keep the sole of your right foot down in front of your thigh. You can keep your knee lifted. Option to come down to your forearms and stay here. Option for modified baby grasshopper. Reach for the blade of your left foot. Inhale, slowly release. Come all the way back into your midline. Hug your knees up into your chest. Rock and roll front to back. And work your way slowly into a tabletop. So just cross at your ankles. Plant the blades of your feet down. Draw your knees down. Plant your hands down. And then just step back all the way onto your knees. Now stack your hips to your knees. Shoulders are stacked to your wrists. Your fingers are spread wide. Option to ground through the tops of your feet. Option to tuck your toes under. Inhale, cow pose, gaze up. Bellies draw down. Exhale, cat, tuck in, round up. Dome up through your shoulder blades. Pull your hip bone up to your rib cage. You can add any movement you need here. Maybe side to side, left to right, barrel rolls. Let that feel good through your body. Let's do a few more rounds. Inhale, cow pose. Gaze up, bellies down. Can you broaden through your collarbones a little further, opening up through your throat. Exhale, cat, tuck in, dome up. Let's do one more round here. Inhale, cow. Exhale for cat. Work your way back to a neutral spine. Now extend your right leg long behind, flex your toes back towards your shin. Find the pulse, lift and lower. So flex your toes back towards your shin, draw your right hip bone down towards your mat. Activate the core, belly button pulls into spine. You've got 4, 3, 2, 1. Find rainbow taps. Tap over to your left, back over to your right. Good. Send your heel high through your midline, activating glute and the hamstrings. Give me 2 more. Work your way slowly back to a tabletop. This time, extend your left leg long behind, flex your toes back towards your shin, find that pulse, lift and lower. Belly button pulls into spine. Breathe. Give me 4, 3, rainbow taps in 2, rainbow taps and 1. Tap over to your right, back over to your left. Try to keep your left hip bone pointing back down. Give me 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice work, guys. Work your way back to a tabletop. Slowly tuck your toes under, lift your knees 2 inches off your mat, find a tabletop hover. So my knees are stacked to my hips are stacked to my knees. Your fingers are spread wide, load into the shoulders here, belly button pulls in. Take your knees out and in. Try not to bounce the hips. Activate through the core, you've got 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift all the way up, downward facing dog, Uttanasana. Your feet are about hip width distance. Take your gaze in between your feet, torso to your thighs. Ground through your first finger and your thumb. Breathe. You can bend your knees as much as you need to here. Good, now slowly come up onto your tippy toes, roll into your high plank. Stack your shoulders to wrist, hips in line with your shoulders, bellies draw in. Exhale, lower all the way down to your bellies. Plug your elbows into your rib cage, untuck your toes, ground through the tops of your feet, through your hip bones. Inhale, Bhujangasana Cobra. Just lift your chest up, pull your elbows back, shoulders melt away. Exhale, slowly release. Let's do that again. Inhale, Bhujangasana Cobra. Lift it up, hug it back. Barely any weight into my hands. Exhale, slowly lower. This time, inhale, Cobra Locust. Hands and feet lift up off your mat. Ground through your hip bones, soft part of your belly. Option, arms extend back behind, palm stays down. Option for bound locust. Interlace your hands, keep lifting up, take your gaze slightly ahead. Breathe. Exhale, slowly release. Ooh, plant your hands underneath your shoulders. Tuck your toes, come up onto your knees, lift your tailbone high, downward facing dog. Uttanasana, breathe. Let that go, pedal out your feet. Now take your gaze to the top of your mat. Walk your feet to meet your hands. Uttanasana, forward fold. Ragdoll pose, reach for opposite elbows. Sway your bodies left to right. Nod your head yes or no. Release the tension through the small of your back, the back of your legs. Again, you can bend your knees as much as you need. Now slowly draw your hands down towards your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Belly button pulls into spine, shoulders melt away from your ears. Exhale, forward fold. Let's do that again. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Extend and lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, arms sweep all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, exhale, Tadasana. Nice work, guys. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, bring your palms to touch. Find a side bend over to your right side. So keep your hips and shoulders square to the top of your mat. Squeeze your biceps towards your ears. Activate your glutes and your inner thighs. One more breath. Inhale, slowly come back into your midline. Exhale, take it over to your left. Inhale, come all the way back into your midline. Exhale, find a small cactus back bend. Shine your heart forward, take your gaze slightly up and back. Inhale, bring your arms all the way overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, plant down, send it back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Now, option to keep your knees lifted, option to draw your knees down, lower all the way down to your bellies. Inhale, Bhujangasana Cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Uttanasana. Breathe. Let that go. Now take your gaze back to the top of your mat. Step or jump, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, arms sweep all the way up. Bring your hands down to your heart center. Inhale, exhale, Tunasana. Nice work, guys. Let's flow through that Sane. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Bring your palms to touch. Find a side bend over to your right side. Squeeze your glutes. One more breath. Inhale, pull everything back into your midline. Exhale, take it over to your left side. Inhale, pull everything back into your midline. Exhale, small cactus back bend. Inhale, bring your arms straight up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step or jump, Chaturanga Dandasana. Now lower halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog. Knees and hips lift up off your mat. Arms are straight, gaze ahead. Exhale, downward facing dog. Uttanasana. Breathe, let that go. Now this time, take your gaze back to the top of your mat. Step or jump, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose, Uttanasana. Toes to touch, knees to touch. Squeeze your inner thighs. Tailbone draws back, belly's in. Chest is lifted, arms are strong. Now check your knees. Make sure they're not pulling ahead. Send everything back behind your big toes. Draw your tailbone back and down. Now, inhale, look up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step or jump, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog, Uttanasana. Inhale, right heel rises. Now open up your hips, stack your hips, your shoulders are square to the top of your mat. Feel the stretch through your right side, breathe. One more breath. Exhale, square your hip, straighten out your right leg. Now shift your weight forward. Keep your right leg straight as you tap your big toe to the outside of your right wrist. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, warrior one. Step to the inside of your right hand. Back foot steps into a 45. Front knee stacks, hips, shoulders in square. Arms are strong. Now, check your stance here. If your back heel's lifted, pull your heel down and then square your hips, work your shoulders back. Good, take your gaze up. Exhale, plant your hands. Send it back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward dog, warrior cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog, Uttanasana. Inhale, left heel rises. Open up your hips, stack your hips, shoulders are square. Breathe, feel the stretch through your left side. Exhale, square your hips, straighten out your left leg. Tap your left big toe to the outside of your left wrist. Inhale, three-legged. Exhale, step through, warrior one. Back foot steps into a 45. Front knee stacks to your front ankle, hip shoulders are square, arms are strong. Good, take your gaze up, exhale, plant it down, send it back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward dog, warrior cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let that go. Breathe. Release the tension in your jaw and in your neck. We're gonna flow through that one more time. Take your gaze to the top of your mat, step or jump, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose, Uttanasana. Toes to touch, knees to touch, arms are strong. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant down, step or jump, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward dog, warrior cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right heel rises. Open up your hips, stack your hips, breathe. Now square your hips, straighten out your right leg. Tap to the outside of your right wrist. Inhale, three-legged. Exhale, warrior one. Look up, take your gaze between your hands. Exhale, plant your hands, send it back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left heel rises. Open up your hips, stack your hips, breathe. Square your hips, straighten out your left leg. Tap to the outside of your left wrist. Inhale, three-legged. Exhale, warrior one. Back foot's grounded, front knee stacks, arms are strong. Take your gaze up. Exhale, plant it down, send it back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward dog, warrior cobra. Exhale, it's downward facing dog. Nice work, guys. Come all the way down to a child's pose. Bring your knees out wide, toes to touch. Just draw your third eye down. Let that go. Maybe shake out your hips. Sway side to side. Surrender into your upper body. Bring your focus back to your breath. Now take your gaze to the top of your mat. Walk your right hand off the top of your right mat into the side of your mat, and then take your left hand on top of your right. Draw your left shoulder down towards your midline. Inhale, slowly walk through your midline. Exhale, take your hands over to your left side, right hand on top of left. Feel the stretch through your right side. Pull your right shoulder back toward your midline. Inhale, reach, extend to the top of your mat. Spread your fingers wide, take your gaze to the top of your mat, and lift your forearms up. We have child's pose push-ups. So you're gonna roll forward. As you roll forward, tuck your pelvis under. We're not lifting our tailbone up, we're tucking everything up and in. Stack shoulders to elbows, elbows to wrists. Exhale, lower down to a hover. Hug your elbows into your rib cage as you lower down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, send it back. Keep it going here. You can take it at your own tempo, at your own pace. Working up into the upper body, finding the upper body strength. Can you give me 2 more here? On your 1, can you hold it down to a hover? Find the micro pulse for 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice work, guys. Send it back, child's pose. Bring your palms to touch, the knuckles of your thumbs to the nape of your neck. Go ahead and plant your hands back down. Lift your forearms. Lift all the way up. Tuck your toes under. Tailbone lifts. Downward facing dog. Uttanasana. Breathe. Now this time, take your gaze to the top of your mat. Bring your thumbs close together. Step or jump Molassana. Yogi squat. So your feet come out 45 outside your sitting bones. Your belly button pulls into spine. Elbows to the inside of your knees. Thumbs to your chest. Extend through the crown of your head. So try not to dump down and run through the spine here. Everything is extending and lifting up. Now, option to stay here. If you have a block or books or anything around the house, you could take a block and just sit on your block and hold it here. If you want to take it further, you're going to lift your hips 2 inches and then reach your arms forward, shoulders melt away. Take your hips side to side. Waking up through the hip flexors. Activating your Mula Bandha, your root lock, and belly button pulling into spine, your Uddiyana Bandha. Good, keep it going here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now, I'm gonna face you guys so you can kind of see what the next step is. So, drop your right shoulder inside your right knee. Plant your right hand down, lift your hips up, load into your right shoulder, and then send your right foot back behind your left, coming into your side plank. Stack your hips, stack your shoulders, lift up with your core. Breathe here. Exhale, plant it back down. Plant your left hand down. Step your right foot back out to a 45. Lower down to your Molassana. Yogi squat. Now switch it out. Drop your left shoulder inside your left knee. Drop your left hand outside your left foot. Lift your hips up. Load into your left shoulder. Extend your left leg back behind your right. Find the side plank. Activating the core strength. 1 more breath. Exhale, bring everything back into your midline. Molassana, Yogi squat. I'm gonna face back forward. Now this time, just plant your hands, step or jump back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward dog or your cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Uttanasana, breathe. Breathe. Pedal out your feet. Let that go. Now, inhale, right heel rises. Exhale, high crescent lunge. Step to the inside of your right hand. in one line to the top of your mat. Sink into your front thigh, chest is lifted, arms are strong. Now look up, palms to touch. Exhale, sweep your right arm back behind. Find a twist in your spine, take your gaze back. Keep active through your back leg. Keep lifting up through your back knee. Breathe. Good, exhale, bring your hands to your heart center. Take your left elbow to the outside of your right knee. Hook your elbow to the outside of your knee, thumbs to your chest, gaze up over your right shoulder. Good guys, breathe here, find the balance, find the control. Try not to dump down. Exhale, dragon lunge. Plant both hands to the inside of your right foot. Now, you may need to heel toe your right foot out to the edge of your mat. Keep hugging your right knee in. Shift your weight forward to the ball of your left foot. Lower your back knee down. Untuck your back toes. Keep hugging your right knee in. Option to stay lifted to your hands. Option to come all the way down to your forearms. Option for a block, if that feels better, underneath your forearms. Or even lifted 2 blocks in your third eye. Now let this feel good into your body. You can add any movement you need here. If you want to hold static, hold static. Otherwise, maybe shift side to side. Really allow those juices to flow, the energy to move. Breathe. If you're down to your forearms, lift back up to your hands. Exhale, twisted dragon. Heel toe your right foot out to a 45. Come onto the blade of your right foot. Gently press your knee out as you take your gaze up over your right shoulder. Option to stay here. Option for your King Arthur stretch. Take your right hand, reach back for your left foot, the outside blade of your left foot, and hug up into your glute. Now, you can always place blocks underneath your hand to bring the ground up. If this is an easier option, or anything you have around the house, you can always use a strap, wrap around your back foot and pull up in. One more breath. Exhale, release your back foot, heel toe your front foot to the middle of your mat, find a half splits. So just send your hips back to stack to your back knee, flex your front toes towards your shin. Lead your torso to the top of your thigh. Again, if you have blocks or books underneath your hands to bring the ground up, otherwise work on really pulling your torso down, extending through the crown of your head. You can bend your knee as much as you need to here. We have one more breath. Good, now go ahead and tuck your back toes under, ground through your right foot, frame your front foot with both hands. Now just shift your weight forward, inhale, standing split. Send your left heel high. Walk your hands further back to frame your front foot. Option for the bind, right handed calf, forehead closer in. Keep fighting for it. Option for blocks always. One more breath. Exhale, open up half moon. Just place your right hand in front of your right foot. Option for the block here if you need. And then open up through your hips and your shoulders. So flex your lifted leg, flex your toes back towards your shin, activate the lifted leg. Good guys, breathe. One more breath. Exhale, warrior 2. Go ahead and step back, ground through the blade of your back foot. Front knee stacks to your front ankle. Work for the heel to heel or heel to arch alignment. Gaze down your front middle finger. Sink into your front thigh. Find the external rotation into that front thigh. Breathe. One more breath. Inhale, reverse your warrior 2. Reach your right arm up and back, left arm down. Exhale, Prasarita Tunasana. Straighten out your right leg, turn your toes in. Hinge from your hips all the way down to your mat. Walk your hands shoulder width distance in between your feet. Torso to your thighs, crowning your head down. Breathe. Now option to stay here, option to add any side lunges you need. Taking it right to left, shifting side to side. Doing whatever feels good for you in your body. You can find twists, you can find binds. Tripod headstand if that's in your practice. When you're ready, work your way back to your midline. Now just plant your hands underneath your shoulders. Your fingers are spread wide. Lift up, so extend through the crown of your head. Now come up onto your tippy toes, find pike pose. So lift your tailbone up as you suck everything into your belly. Exhale, lower down. You're loading into your shoulders here. So inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. You should feel the sensation through your core, loading into the shoulders. Upper body strength, breathing. Give me 2 more here. Give me 1 more. slowly lower your heels down. Take your gaze to the top of your mat, crawl your way forward, back to your dragon lunge. Now load into your left shoulder. Open up to your side plank. You're gonna send your right leg on top of your left, stack your hips, stack your shoulders, breathe. Option to stay here. Option to drop your bottom knee down. Now if you've got the lift, you can stack your feet, stagger your feet, or lift top leg up. One more breath. Exhale, high plank, lower down, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, upward dog, warrior cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Woo! Let that go, guys, breathe. Nice work. Let's take it to our left side. Inhale, left heel rises. Exhale, high crescent lunge. Step the inside of your left hand. Arms sweep all the way up. Front knee stacks to your front ankle. Back heel is lifted. Hips, shoulders are square at the top of your mat. Now look up, palms to touch. Exhale, sweep your left arm back behind. Find a twist in your spine, gaze back. Keep the back leg active. One more breath. Good, bring your hands to your heart center. Hook your right elbow to the outside of your left knee. Keep active with the back leg. Keep lifting up to your back knee. Gaze up over your left shoulder. Exhale, dragon lunge. Plant both hands to the inside of your left foot. Shift your weight forward. Drop your back knee down. Untuck your back toes. Option to stay lifted. Option to come back all the way to your forearms. Option for blocks anywhere you need. Now you can add any movement you need here. You can stay static. Let it feel good into your body. Breathe. Now find if you're down to your forearms, lift back up, and then find your twisted dragon. Heel toe your left foot out to a 45. Come onto the blade of your left foot and gently press your knee out as you take your gaze up over your left shoulder. Option for the King Arthur stretch. Reach back, grab the outside blade of your right foot with your left hand. Pull it up into your glute. You want to keep off the top of your back knee, so keep pulling your hips down and forward. If that's too much, just stay here. Or just pull your heel up and work on energetically pulling it in. One more breath. Release your back foot, heel toe your front foot to the middle of your mat, find a half split. So send your hips back to stack, flex your toes back towards your shin, lead your torso to the top of your thigh. One more breath. Now go ahead and tuck your back toes under. Plant your left foot down, frame your front foot with both hands, lift your back knee up, shift your weight forward, inhale, standing split. Send your right heel high. Option to walk your hands further back, option for the bind, forehead closer in, option for blocks always. Fight for it, one more breath. Exhale, half moon, place your left hand in front of your left foot. Now open up through your side body. Stack your hips, stack your shoulders. Flex your toes back towards your shin, find the balance. One more breath. Exhale, warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2. Ground through the blade of your back foot, front knee stacks to your front ankle, sink into your front thigh. Hip shoulders are open, gaze down your front middle finger. Inhale, reverse your warrior two. Reach your left arm up and back, right arm down. Exhale, Prasarita Padottanasana, wide forward fold. Turn your left toes in, hinge from your hips, draw your torso all the way down in between your thighs, crown of your head in between your feet. Breathe. Again, don't be afraid to add any movements you need here, side to side, left to right. Staying static, finding twists, finding binds, tripod headstands. Now slowly work your way back to your midline. Once again, place your hands underneath your shoulders. Your fingers are spread wide, so you're gripping your mat like you're gripping a basketball. Inhale, come up onto your tippy toes, pike pose. Exhale, lower. Do that again. Inhale, lift. Everything sets up and in. Exhale, lower. Keep it going here. Take it at your own tempo, your own pace. Give me 2 more. You have 1 more here. Nice work, guys. Lower your heels down. Take your gaze to the top of your mat. Crawl your way forward. Dragon lunge. Keep your back leg lifted. Now this time, load into your right shoulder And then sweep your left leg back on top of your right. Open up through your hips, shoulders. Option to drop your bottom knee. Option for the hover. Option for the stagger. One more breath. Exhale, high plank. Lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog, warrior cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Come all the way down to your knees. Nice work, guys. Just sit back onto your heels. Now let that go. We're gonna do some extensive loading into the shoulder and activating core work. So, if you've got blocks, I'm gonna face you guys, but if you have blocks, highly suggest that. If not, no worries, you can do this without blocks. Now, working on Vasana Lifts. So this is again, a deep core activation and deep shoulder load. So plant your hands outside your thighs or just outside your knees. Your fingers are spread wide. Bring your big toes to touch, inner thighs together. So squeezing your inner thighs. Again, you're engaging your Mula Bandha. So everything sucks up and in. So you're pulling everything up and then belly button pulls into spine to protect your low back. Now, keep your big toes planted to the ground. If you've got the lift, you are more than welcome. Otherwise, you're gonna load into the shoulders, fingers are spread wide, lift up, filling that into the core, lowering back down. Inhale, lift up, exhale, lower down. Keep it going here. I'm gonna face the other way so you can see both positions. Moving up, lowering down. Now you're grounding through the tops of your feet. If that's too much, you can tuck your toes under. Work on lifting here, lowering down, lifting up. Otherwise, the deeper expression is of course to lift your feet. However, if that's too much, you're just gonna lift up and lower down. Give me about 2 more here. Good, you got 1 more. And then come all the way up onto your knees. Woo. Take your knees about hip width distance, working your way into Uttanasana, camel pose. Now tuck your toes under. This helps bring the ground up. Everybody place your hands to the small of your back. Work your shoulders or your elbows towards one another. Keep your chest lifted. Take your gaze slightly up and back. You want to keep your hips in line with your knees at all times. Now option to stay here, option half camel. Reach your right hand to the inside of your foot, thumb to the outside, extend your left arm up. Keep your shoulders square to the top of your mat. Good, now if you're in a half camel, or if you've got full camel, both hands reach back, thumb to the outside. Pull your hips forward, belly's in, chest is lifted. If you're in a half camel, switch it out. Good, everybody bring your hands back to the small of your back, lift your torso up, untuck your toes, just lower down onto your heels, palms face up to receive. Allow that energy to move. This can often make you dizzy, so just breathe. Check back in with your body. Nice work, guys. Plant your hands down, tuck your toes under, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. You're almost there. Take your gaze to the top of your mat, separate jump, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose, so Uttanasana. Toes to touch, knees to touch, squeeze your inner thighs. Tailbone draws back, belly's in, chest is lifted, arms are strong. I'm gonna face you guys. Now load into your left leg. Parallel your right thigh towards your mat, bring your arms out to a T, Utanasana Eagle. Cross your right knee over your left. Now work for the bind, so top of foot to the back of your calf, sink your tailbone back and down. Right arm sweeps underneath your left elbow, binding at the wrist or hands back to back. Now you can always find the kickstand, placing your big toe down. Inhale, lift your elbows in line with your shoulders. Exhale, find a crunch. So surrender into your eagle pose. Draw your elbows to the top of your thighs. Inhale, lift. Exhale, crunch it in. Keep it going here. In the balance, find the control. Good, inhale. Exhale, keep it going here. Give me 2 more. 1 more here. Woo. Nice work, guys. Inhale, bring it back to your eagle. Parallel your right thigh. Lower your right foot down to meet your left, release your bind, arms sweep up. Now we're gonna take it on our left side. Bring your arms back out to a T, parallel your left thigh. Cross your left knee over your right, work for the bind, or option for the kickstand. Left arm sweeps underneath right, binding at the elbows, binding at the wrist. or hands back to back. Lift your elbows in line with your shoulders. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, crunch it in. Keep it going here. Inhale. Exhale, pull everything in. Whew. Nice work, guys. Keep it going. Yes, you can. Give me 2 more. You have 1 more here. Inhale, slowly lift back up. Align your left thigh. Lower down to meet your right. Release your bind. Arms sweep up. Chair pose. Exhale, swan back, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant down. Separate jump back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward dog, warrior cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Out of Uttanasana, breathe, let that go. Now roll forward into your high plank. Lower all the way down to your bellies. Untuck your toes. Round through the tops of your feet. Bring your chin to the middle of your mat. Both arms out to a T. Now ground through the tops of your feet, through your hip bones. Inhale, locust pose. On your inhale, you're gonna lift your hands, your feet, your chest up off your mat. So inhale, lift everything up. Keep your big toes to touch. Exhale, bound locust. You can separate your feet to a hip width. Keep lifting up. Take your gaze slightly ahead, lift up. 1 more breath. Exhale, bow pose, Uttanasana. Bend your feet, or bend your knees, grab the outside blades of your feet. Kick your feet into your hands. Good, guys. Lift and breathe. Exhale, slowly release. Woo! You can keep your knees bent. Find the windshield wipers left or right. One more breath. Go ahead and lower your feet down to the back of your mat. Plant your hands down. Come up onto your knees. Tailbone lifts. Downward facing dog. Just pedal up your feet. Let that go. This time, take your gaze to the top of your mat. Cross-set your ankles. Find your seated position. Dandasana. Legs straight out in front of you. Now keep grounding in through your sitting bones. Sit up tall. Belly button pulls into spine. Chest is lifted. Inhale, arms reach all the way up. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Hinge from your hips. Lead with your torso to the top of your thigh. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to deepen. Now if this is too much, you can always just walk down the edges of your legs. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Whatever feels good for you. If you have a strap, wrap around the blades of your feet, walk down your midline. Wherever you feel tension, just pause and breathe. Inhale, slowly lift back up. Exhale, Baddha Konasana. Bring the soles of your feet together. Your knees are out wide. Interlace your fingers to the blades of your feet. I'm gonna face you guys. Because it's almost show time. It's almost 8 angle pose time. Now inhale, lift, lengthen, extend. Exhale, slowly lower back down. Inhale, slowly lift up. Now I want you to take your left shin, go ahead and parallel it to the top of your mat. Cradle your right shin in. Now if this is where you're at, stay here. This is your first level, your first option. This is where it is, stay here. Now otherwise, if you want to take it further, you're going to hook your right knee up as high as you can to your right shoulder. So you're going to lift it all the way up on top of your shoulder as if it's a backpack. Flex your toes back towards your shin. Really hook it in here though. So you're activating the hamstring, really creating that calf squeeze onto the shoulder. Now this is where you're at, stay here. Otherwise, place your right hand outside your right hip. Your elbow hooks out to the side. Left hand plants outside your left hip. Fingers are spread wide. Cross your left ankle on top of your right. Now in week 2, we stayed here and practiced the lift and the lower. This time, we're gonna go forward. So you're gonna lift everything up. As you lift up, you straighten out your legs, squeeze onto your bicep, and then lower down chaturanga arms. Take your gaze to your feet. You can add push-ups, you can stay here. Whew. Now keep squeezing. You want your right elbow hooked out, left elbow hooked in. You're squeezing your inner thighs on top of your tricep, or onto your triceps, onto your bicep, and and then extend. Take your gaze to your feet, not straight down. You'll fall straight down. You always want to look at your feet. Now when you're ready, let's take it to our other side. Nice work, guys. Let me know if you've got it. If this is your first time, I always want to know if this helped you, if you've got into the posture. Because it's one of those postures that just look so impossible. And the first time I saw it, I was like, no, there's no way. And then I got it, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. It's like a party favor. Now hug it in. If this is where you're at, stay here. Otherwise, take your left knee and hook it up as high as you can to your left shoulder. So maybe you need to just practice staying here, everything crunching up and in. Otherwise, flex your toes back towards your shin. Plant your left hand outside your left hip. Your left elbow hooks out. You're going to plant your right hand to the outside of your right hip. Fingers are spread wide. Cross your right ankle on top of your left. Your option is to lift and lower. You just stay here if you've got it. Lift your hips up and back. Shoot your legs out to the side. Lower down. Take your gaze to your feet. Whew. Good, guys. Breathe. Don't hold your breath. And then work your way back. Again, I want to know, even if you're just working on one side versus the other, or you get one side versus the other, that's totally normal. One side is typically weaker than the other, or we just tend to have a stronger side. That's totally normal. You'll keep practicing, you'll keep on getting it. Now, when you're ready, work your way all the way out to your backs. Hug your knees into your chest, just circle your knees opposite one another, in and out, let it go. Now plant the soles of your feet down just outside your sitting bones. Your knees are up. Find a bridge pose, Vasana. You put your hands out to the side. Ground through the palms of your hands. Lift your hips up. Activate glutes. Activate your hamstrings. Option for bound bridge. Interlace your hands to the small of your back. Roll your shoulders underneath your shoulder blades. Option for full wheel if that's in your practice. Whatever variation you're in, slowly release. Just come all the way down to your backs. Take your feet outside your mat. Knock your knees windshield wipers left to right. Now just find an easy supine twist over to your right. So allow your knees to stagger over to the right side of your mat. You can take your right ankle on top of your left knee, pull down further. It stretches your psoas through your hip flexor. Bring your arms out to a T, gaze left. Again, working to keep your shoulders grounded. Inhale, slowly come back to your midline. Place both feet outside your mat, knock your knees side to side, windshield wiper left to right. And this time just find an easy supine twist, allowing your knees to fall over to your left side. It's okay if they stagger. And then take your left ankle on top of your right knee and pull further down, gaze right. Inhale, slowly come back into your midline. This time just stiffen your legs straight up to the ceiling. Find your legs up the wall. You can bend your knees as much as you need to. Flex your toes back toward your shin. Surrender into your upper body. Just activate your parasympathetic nervous system, your rest or digest. Now slowly lower your heels all the way down to the top of your mat. Use your core for control. Heels touch the top of your mat. Find yourself a good morning stretch. Inhale, reach your arms all the way above your head. Point your toes forward. Big stretch through your front side body. Big inhale, hold it at the top. Audible exhale, release. Allow your hands to fall out to the side. Palms face up to receive. Close your eyes. Come come into your final Shavasana. Audible exhale, let that go. Let's do that again. Inhale, completely fill up. Clench your fist shut, shrug your shoulders up, squeeze every muscle fiber in your body. Audible exhale, release. Leave everything on your mat, take nothing home. When you're ready, come into a fetal position, either on your right or your left side, your masculine energy or your feminine energies. And then slowly work your way up to an easy seated pose, just crossing at your ankles, lengthening through your spine, sitting up tall. Inhale, arms reach all the way above your head. Take all that good energy, bring it down into your heart center, your heart space, your fourth chakra. Inhale your confidence, your self-love, your self-acceptance, and then exhale all your fears and doubts. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Namaste.